Hi again. So it's Thursday, April 2nd. We're almost to spring break. Remember, you guys got really good at not being afraid of notation. So let's make sure you don't get afraid of this. You're like, all right, let's see what we got. We've got to draw a tangent line at x equals 2. So you guys were awesome at that. Luke, if you're listening, used to love your templates. Okay, so we need to find y minus something equals something times x minus 2. Okay, so let's find this one first. Okay, so we need to find the output at 2. So g of 2 is 4 to 4, and we're like, ka-ching, we're not accumulating anything because the lower bound matches the upper bound, so we know this is 0. Bam. Okay, but now we've got to do g prime of 2. So let's find g prime of x. So I'm going to actually do it over here so I've got some. Okay, we need to find g prime of x. And this is more than the fundamental theorem. It's got a little twist because this has a derivative that's not 1. Okay, so we're going to use the fundamental theorem. We're just going to write it out so we don't forget. Okay, so here's what I think is easier to do. Let's call this f of t. So let's see, f of t is the square root of t squared plus 9. It'll make it easier when we write. So we're going to call that that. Okay, so now let's do the fundamental theorem. So we are going to, take that integrand, evaluate it at the upper bound. Then we have to times it by the derivative of the bound, and the derivative of the bound would be 2x. And then we subtract, and then we do the same thing with the lower bound. So it would be f of 4, but the derivative of 4 is 0, and so this cancels out. So we know that g prime of x is f of x squared times 2x. Okay, so let's find g prime of 2. That is f of 4 times 4. And here's my rule for f. The square root of 4 squared is 16 plus 9 times 4, which is root 25 times 4, which is 20. And that goes right here. So here's my answer to part A. Okay, now let's do part B. We want to estimate it at 2.3. So we'll just put in 2.3 for x. Sometimes this number is not 0, but I'm just going to move the 0 over. So in case when you get a number that's not 0, you're good. So there's 20, 2.3 minus 2. So y is 20 times 0.3, which is 6.